Good job to our ref
initialization
crew.
is
Heck
getting
yeah.
ready to go.
All right, Matt, what are you calling? I'm calling Purdue. I think
I'm going to go ahead and say NYU. It depends on if Purdue's standard 2 or standard 4 is able to also move.
Oh.
Looks like their gimbal moved.
The sentry for Purdue did something. It stopped spinning, right? The motion changed. Oh, there we go.
It goes.
Starting again.
All robots able to actually get out of their starting zones, being fully functional.
Purchasing done very quickly from both standards, and they're going to meet halfway through.
Looks like they're both going to have the same idea on opposite sides.
Purdue able to get a couple shots down onto the sentry of NYU. Not retaliated so far, and they're able to continue chipping away. Once again, the balancing standard, and it seems like the regular standard also firing. You see the speed monitor module from here of that red standard 4.
Whether or not it'll be super effective is yet to be seen, but Purdue doing some very good chip damage onto NYU Sentry.
First blood.
From the middle field uncontested. Looks like the hero is going to go down. I don't know what exactly got that one this time.
Well, there we go. That's the non-balancing standard for Purdue, firing away. This is excellent news. As projectiles rain down on the commentary desk, that's great from Purdue. It's what we needed to see. We needed their non-balancing standard to start firing, and it has.
I think that's actually their sentry,
Is that their
because
sentry?
it does not seem to be firing even in the arena.
It's firing at the curtain. It's the blue curtain.
The blue curtain has
Chris,
been...
pull down the blue curtain. Take down the Penn State one. Okay.
That was a lot of projectiles flying straight towards the commentary desk.
Good
as
call,
one of the
Matt.
blue banners over the top of the blue banner over the top of the entire venue was being identified as an armor panel. They were looking a little bit too high to the stars. And,
all right, Purdue's still in the lead, though, even though their sentry kind of went crazy.
NYU taking a massive amount of damage as Purdue's sentries making quick work of their base.
Oh, my word.
Cutting it down to size even as a standard.
That's that accuracy we were finding in the first match, able to really chew through the base health. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. We'll see if they're able to figure out how to chew through these bases with standards. We've seen some teams struggle earlier today.
Well, Purdue has been one of the ones that prevailed.
Double kill.
Purdue has $0 and only 70 projectiles left, so they've got to be conscientious. In this match, it won't matter, right? NYU not really in a position to make a comeback, but something to think of in future matches is now Purdue is in a spot where they don't have the agency to do anything. They can't fight off a robot. They can't do more damage. They've got to wait for the gold that has now passively ticked over.
Well, not to mention they are all both level 1 on the side of NYU.
Yeah, not a concern this match.
Purdue is level 3, and so just having those early overpower and self-destruction issues is really, really bad for early standard, especially a double standard team, because you get a double standard team up to level 3 very quickly, and you're going to be looking at a pretty tough opponent.
That is the standard, both standard 3 and standard 4 firing for Purdue. Very well, too. Standard 4 able to get the kill, standard 3 able to kill the base. Purdue in a dominant fashion, and as soon as their sentry is a little more dialed in, also firing, 3 robots firing, a great sign from the University of Purdue.
Purdue once again just showing fantastic usability of that balancing standards capability.
Better than 50% accuracy, just barely, but pretty good. As a balancing standard, it has to, for the majority of the time, be up on that balancing Segway style wheel. It can tip forward and backward and hit those other wheels, but those are really just fail safes. So you want to just pull down that red one. We don't need to replace it yet. Just pop it off. 3, 2, 1. Match starts. All right, so Purdue versus NYU, round 2. Both teams starting with that standard strat. Interested to see 100 projectiles per. And that's the move from all these teams that have a second robot that they want to reload. You can get up to 200 projectiles, but they're doing 100 to save some cash.
Well, especially as we saw last round, Purdue's standards both working, so it is good to buy ammo.
The sentry for Purdue not seeing the NYU robots that time, continuing to spin away from them.
Ooh, and that's going to be a first blood. Didn't really say what it was destroyed by. Didn't look like it got shot all the way down. It looked like it was more of an overpower barrel heat issue.
I would bet it was an overshooting issue. It's got one projectile left. Wasn't able to land any hits on the sentry. Purdue, on the other hand, has been able to do about 200 damage worth to the sentry of NYU.
Purdue standard 4 chasing the hero all the way back to the resupply zone and now starting to engage the blue standard 3 for NYU. Looks like it's going to be taking it out. That's going to give it a level advantage now to Purdue. Both of their standards now level 2, while both of NYU's hero and standard are still level 1. Now, in the early game, that is a very big difference. Just because you have a certain amount of projectiles does not mean that you're able to use them very effectively, because you lose a lot of velocity and barrel heat and chassis power if you're not higher level.
Purdue's balancing standard hiding behind that barricade and chipping away. We can see its perspective now, chipping away at the armor panels of the sentry of NYU.
Level 3 for Purdue now for both of their standards. It's going to mean that they're going to be able to shoot pretty dang fast and pretty dang hard.
Chat wants to know if this is the third NA on Twitch. Yeah, this is our third year streaming on Twitch and the third year of North American region. So thank you so much for being here. We're really excited about the growth of the teams and the sports. You can see from the robots right now that our region has grown appreciably. We got balancing standards, AI that sometimes shoots banners, but most of the time shoots robots. Got a lot of good things going.
Well, better to be a little bit too trigger happy with the sentry, as you have 750 projectiles.
Oh, I
than
agree.
To be a bit more conservative to save it for next year, you know?
The sentry for NYU now down, exposing the base to 2 level 3 standards. We'll see what they can do.
Looks like they're going to start trying to make short work of the base, as NYU's base health is now falling at a rate of 5 damage per projectile hitting
This
that armor
driver
panel.
is quite good. You can see with the balancing standard while he's firing, he's actually drifting back a little bit, making it a little bit more difficult to keep aim. Turning around to see who shot him. It was the hero. He's able to trade back. A level 1 hero doesn't stand a chance against the level 3 standard.
As you can see right now, that is exactly what the driver is seeing for Purdue. Interesting to see how different teams arrange their HUDs for their own advantages. Maybe notice and compare and contrast the differences.
The robot's doing a little bit of dancing in the center there. The driver's actually just hanging out, doing a few emotes. Blue standard 3, red standard 4, shaking heads, doing moves. Purdue gonna put this one away here pretty quickly with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. They'll be taking points from both rounds in their group stage.
Not a ton NYU can do in this situation, besides kind of just watch their base health as it goes down very, very quickly. Seeing how long it takes now for that barrel heat to actually increase and how quickly it goes away for those level 3 standards just shows you how much of a difference level makes, especially
and
if
it's
you
a
can get
level
early
3
levels.
balancing standard.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely
that's right.
crushing it.
And that's going to be the base falling for NYU. Victory going over to Purdue.
Good job, Purdue.
Once again, destroying bases in both of their games played, just like we saw in the earlier game.
All right, Matt, let's do a little bit of actual maths this time.